Hey, thanks for checking out my channel. I'm John Stark from MacTheMovieGuy.com, and this is a review of the Noel Diary. It's on Netflix, and I'm a blind film critic, so I review films with audio description, and guess what? This film has audio description. This film is, look, I'd realized at the beginning of the year, I said I'm not going to review like every single Christmas film that falls from the sky, and then this is like my third one. The second one was because of Freddie Prinze. The first one was because of Lindsay Lohan. So this one, yeah, I like Justin Hartley. I watched This Is Us, and I think he grew a lot as an actor. I grew to like him a lot when he first started on the show. I was like, it's this guy. But I think that was kind of the point. But by the end of the run of the show, he had been given some really heavy material throughout the run that I thought he did really, really well with. I think he was like one of the only people in the cast to never be nominated for an Emmy, if not the only of the main cast. I feel like that's true. So, yeah. Poor Justin Hartley. In this film, he plays a writer who he's pretty high up, and women like to ogle him. I don't know how else to say that, but also gay men. He's doing like a book signing at the beginning of the film, and there are these women that keep coming up to him, but then there's also a gay couple, and they're like fighting over like who I read the book first. No, I read the book first. No, I read the book. And he's just like, I'll just give you a second book. And then he signs 2 books. But yeah, so he's a writer and he's popular and he's doing well for himself. And then he finds out that his mom has passed away. So he has to return home and get her affairs in order. So he travels home and he's going through some stuff and he finds this diary. But you can guess what kind of diary. Perhaps a Noel diary. Actually, that's exactly what it is. But there's this girl, Rachel, who she's on an exploration of her life because she was adopted. And so she's trying to figure out who her mom was at her time in life. So there's intersecting stories that manipulate here that just kind of interweave. As far as random supporting cast members you might know, James Remar and Bonnie Bedelia kind of wander in from time to time. They play like little pivotal moments where they don't have to do much except give their years of acting experience to the film. It's a cute kind of film. It kind of becomes a road trip film. Hartley's character has a dog that follows Ava. I can remember the name of the dog. Don't remember his name, but I remember the name of the dog. that is in like most of the film and seems so adorable. Everything it does is just cute for a Christmas film. And at some points, this feels like, your average run-of-the-mill crap that gets thrown constantly at you. Like hundreds of these get dropped every year. But there's a certain part of it that gets elevated. And I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to tell you why this feels a little bit elevated to you. It's not because of Justin Hartley's acting, although he's charming. It's because this film is directed by Charles Schreier. Which to you may not be, and I'll admit, it's not like I just said this film is directed by Martin Scorsese. True. Charles Schreier has definitely deserved the right to be sort of like that guy, he's got his credits are deep. He's just a couple of them that I remember off the top of my head when I looked through his IMDb page and clicked on it. I was like, what else has he done? He wrote and directed Father of the Bride Part 2. He wrote and directed Baby Boom. And he wrote and directed Alfie, the recent remake starring Jude Law. Those were all on his resume. He also has writing credits for stuff like Private Benjamin, and he has a directing credit on The Odd Couple. So his career is pretty expansive. There's some other things on there too. I didn't remember his entire career. The last couple of years have not been great on his resume. He's like 80, 81 now, based on his birth year, 81, I think. Um, and we haven't seen much of him. Uh, the past couple of years. He has a couple titles that I've never heard of. It seems kind of like after Alfie, everybody was just like, nah, no, never mind. And it's sad because everything up until that, it's like one bomb should not have tanked his career, but we lost him with Alfie, basically. And he's tried to regain some footing, but to very little results. But this is a guy that knows how to direct a film well, and he's proven it before. So this film is well directed. He's been given an opportunity to do something he loves, that he's very good at. And if you feel like this feels for some reason better than the other films, based on the Christmas films that I've seen so far this year, this is the better directed of the three that I've reviewed so far coming out of Netflix. Justin Hartley's fine. He did exactly what I thought he was going to do. The film is a little bit heavy on trying to sell him as like a sex symbol. And I, to the point where it's like, it's distracting. Like, I don't think most other romantic comedies where somebody is hot, they go so completely out of their way to constantly comment on how hot that character is. And it's I love that this time around it's that they're talking about how hot the guy is, and they're trying to tell this, Rachel goes like, "Oh, you're with him? Oh, man." It's just, they just treat him like he's, eye candy. But meanwhile, Rachel, I think there are a couple like passing comments to her being above average, but Justin Hartley is like on the side of a bus, and that she goes and finds a book of him, and like the person in the bookstore is like, "And he's easy on the eyes." That's always something I want for my authors. I have to have authors who are pretty. It's not about the words in the page or whether or not the book is good. I just need to know that my author was pretty when he wrote it. Come on now. Anyway. Yeah, so they really, it's a little bit oversold. They talk about his looks a bit much for the thing, but then again, I know that they're trying to rom-com their way together in this film about identity and family, and it's an interesting film. It's an interesting road trip film. So I won't tell you how it ends because it does kind of throw you a curveball that it has to work its way out of. So it becomes interesting in the third act for a second. So yeah, I thought this was fine. I didn't like it quite as much as some of the other films that I've seen that are Christmas related. So it's okay. I'm not mad that I saw it. And I appreciate the fact that Charles Schreier was here directing, because I think if it wasn't him, if it was just somebody who had a bunch of TV credits, the film would have fallen apart. The audio description here is, it's okay. There was nothing that I noticed where I was like, "Ooh, what's going on here? What's happening? I'm not lost." But, when you have a dog that you have to describe what it's doing, because it's never going to talk to you, and it's probably constantly moving around, and it's in a lot of the scenes. So that's a good note to be able to describe Ava. And they do a good job of describing Hartley at the beginning of the film, so in case you don't know what he looks like, you feel like he's attractive, since that's what the film wants you to believe and sells you really hard on. So it does what it needs to do. So anyway, I don't need to keep talking about this film. I'm going to give the Noel Diary a C+. I liked So Far Christmas with You is at the top. It's a little bit more charming. Maybe not as well directed, but the cast was just clicked better than this cast does. This cast is, to be fair, this one is a little bit more dramatic than it is comedic. So that's it. So if you stayed this long, perhaps you like me, and you can click subscribe. I'm trying to get to 100 by the end of the year. I'm 13 away. I'm so close. I'm like a professional sports team away from from hitting 100 and being a triple digit YouTuber. That would be nice. So if you could click subscribe, that'd be great. Also, if you want to check out my website, macmoviiguy.com, you can do that whenever you want. There's the audio description project, adp.acb.org. It'll let you know what has audio description and where you can watch it. And the adna.org, that's the adna.org, will let you know who is narrating your favorite movies and TV shows. Unfortunately, Netflix has restructured itself on my app, and now it shouts at me because I have to have an on-screen narrator. I have to have a screen reader in order to navigate because I'm blind, and I can't turn it on and off in my Roku temporarily. It kicks me out of the Netflix app, so I'm stuck. So I got the writer, but I didn't get the narrator. Very frustrating. I'm very frustrated with that. Because as soon as it got to about to tell me the narrator, my screen narrator comes on and it's like, end of credits, come check out next thing, God, whatever. Anyway, I gotta go review something else for you guys, but I will see you on the other side.